Hello and welcome to our episode 1 Game of Thrones review. Red Woman.
Yep.
Season 6, episode 1. What did you think of the episode overall, Selina?
Well, they tried to cram in a lot of storylines in this because they were trying to wrap up everything that was introduced at the end of season 5. So there was a lot to take in, but not a lot actually happened, right?
No, not all that much. Just revisiting each of the characters and going through a little bit in each of the storylines.
The one thing I particularly liked, though, was Brienne coming into the rescue and actually being able to keep 2 of her oaths, finally, because she'd been failing miserably at that for a while.
Yeah.
So not only has she killed Stannis, but also she saved Sansa. So she's doing well, and she seemed really happy about that.
Yeah. It's quite pleased. And everything is turning up rosy with Brienne.
Yeah.
Which is good. We always like to see Brienne succeed.
And things are looking up for Sansa and Theon.
I was going to say she's not as, like, holding a grudge as I thought.
Well, no, but she doesn't seem to be, right? Like, I think she doesn't really care much about the 2 farm boys that died.
That's true.
Basically, which was
forget.
pretty obvious from the start. As soon as she found out that he didn't kill Bran and Rick, and she was like, well, alright, I forgive you, who cares about those 2
I guess
boys?
that shows future potential for her to be ruthless. Right?
True.
The lives of people she doesn't care about.
Either that or that she's really forgiving.
Yeah.
One or the other.
Maybe a little bit of both, ruthless and forgiving at the same time.
And then, well, the big shocker, I guess, for this episode, aside from the ending, which we will get to, was the Dorne storyline.
Ah, yes. That seemed to move very quickly.
Yeah. And something Martell. Yeah. He's out of the picture.
He's dead now.
Stabbed, not in the back. His guard was stabbed in the back.
Yeah.
He was stabbed in the heart. The rest of his guards didn't care at all.
No.
I didn't care that much either. But, I mean, things are happening.
I do really like Illyria Sand, though. She is a character that I enjoy. And I was sort of worried as to what was going to happen if she was just... Because last season I felt that the Sands were all very impotent. They had, like, these big plans, but they sort of failed them miserably, and they didn't really get anything done. Except the last vindictive poison kiss.
Yeah, I mean, the whole Dorne storyline did not appeal to me at all last season.
Yeah.
This season it seems to be happening a little bit more. And also...
Still is a bit cheesy, though, but...
Prince Justine, it's really sad to see him go.
Yeah.
Especially, like, his face.
Yeah. It's literally see his face go. But,
which was really sad. At least we got to see him for a few more minutes before he went bye-bye.
Yeah.
And...
It was a nice touch that he was, like, painting the eyeballs for Marcella's...
Yeah, that was sweet.
He's going to paint his eyeballs. He's going to need a home a lot more than eyeballs. He's going to need a whole other nose.
And I was surprised that it was sand snakes that did it, and not...
Seriously. Well, they didn't give her a chance. I'm sure she would have liked to, but they moved too quick.
But, I mean, because I thought that's what was going to happen. It's pretty clear that the Lannisters are never going to forgive the Martells, and the Martells are never going to forgive the Lannisters.
Well, the Martells are all dead now.
Oh yeah, not the Martells, but Sands.
Yeah. The Dornish people, I suppose.
Jon Snow is still dead, but not buried.
No.
However...
The wildlings coming to the rescue, is that...
Yeah, I mean, it's pretty clear that's going to happen, because he was like, oh, I know someone who'll like, support us. And like, I wonder who that could be. Yeah, so he's gone to go get the wildlings. Daenerys.
Ah, yes, Daenerys.
She's back to her roots. Back to her little Dothraki roots.
Yeah.
I really like the way
people.
She could kind of, because she did that in season 3.
Yeah, pretending not to speak the language and then
at the last minute she was like,
excuse me.
Yeah,
I know the language.
I know exactly what you bitches are talking about. Which is a really good thing to do. Like, I love doing that myself.
Yeah.
If people are speaking a language that I know,
I wish I could
then just...
I
Well, you can do that with English.
Yeah, that's true. Everyone thinks I speak English, though. It doesn't work.
But yeah, no, that was really fun. Although, I personally saw it coming, that they want to take her back.
Yeah, just to be clear that Selina has read all of the books.
Yes.
I have not, but I have been spoiled on many book things.
Because this is not something that we got to see, because in the books, the books actually finished before the show. But...
Yeah, now we're on to new territory.
We did know from season 1 already that basically Khaleesi, if her Cal dies, she goes to Vice Dothrak, or however you pronounce that place, and becomes a wise woman or whatever. So, yeah, that's where they're taking her. I kind of like the look of that new Cal, and I feel like there might be some romance going on. No, but I mean, he was really into her, right?
Yeah.
He called her a beautiful woman, and his wives were really jealous.
Yeah.
I have a feeling they might try to kill her, probably.
Well, they did. They did already, technically, by suggesting that they should.
Several times.
Right, but now I don't think they will, because now they don't feel threatened, because they're like, oh, you're going to be an old lady.
Yeah, they were like, oh, see ya. Stuff is happening in Marine. Chaos, basically. That's pretty much it.
Ships are all burned.
Yep.
Is that this episode? I can't.
Yeah.
The problem with doing this like now is that.
Yeah, no, it was this episode. Jorah Mormont and
terminal illness.
And what's his face? The handsome guy, Daario Naharis, found the crop circle left by the Dothraki. So, they know that she's been taken by some Dothraki.
Some people riding horses, which is
so they're on the right track. Hopefully they'll get to her before Mormont becomes.
Do you think Jorah Mormont will try and infect Daario Naharis with grayscale?
Oh.
As this bit of like.
Gosh, that never occurred to me.
Bitter revenge.
You're so much darker than I.
Do you think he's petty enough to do that, or do you think he's
no? Because
a bigger man?
the thing is, even though Jorah Mormont loves Daenerys, and he will go to any lengths to get to her, I don't think he. Like, I think he knows better than to do something like that, because that would just piss her off.
Yeah.
But maybe he might get infected anyway.
That's true.
I'd be sad if that happened. I mean, I know Mormont is on his way out. Too bad.
It's taking a long time.
Yeah. Not my favorite character, but he's cool. And Arya, not much happening there. We know she's blind.
No, she's the blind beggar. She's getting training.
Yeah, well, she's getting beat up
once
by that annoying girl.
Yeah.
Why
is she so ugly?
No.
They don't style her very well, though, to be honest.
And then, finally, shocker, Lady Melisandre is
actually an old woman.
Yep. Now, for a second, I thought that she was, like, going to go and die, basically. Mm-hmm. Like, she was taking off her magic necklace, and she was just going to die. Because she's probably, like, 200 years old or something. But actually, I think, thinking back, she probably does this every night. Like, this is her, like...
nightly ritual. To become an old woman.
Like, some women put, like, night cream on, she just takes her choker off and, like, becomes an old lady and goes to sleep.
Yeah. Which makes her morning beauty routine very easy. She just is like...
Which actually makes me think of her quite differently now.
Yeah, it is interesting, because there was something about her religious fanaticism, but now it's also combined with her age and, more life experience than she would have had normally. And also knowing that, like, she uses her beauty and her youth to her advantage a lot, and like that, it's part of her power and her charm. So the fact that now we know that she's actually really old and sagging and all that, it's actually quite interesting, because it makes you think about all that in a different way. Like, it makes her... It shows that she really knows that the power that has, and she's actually consciously using it. Yeah. Well, I think even before that, she was aware and conscious of using it.
Yeah, but I mean, it's definitely something that she puts a lot of energy into.
But it's not part of herself. It's like a tool that she puts on and then uses.
So it's clearly a glamour of some kind.
I mean, maybe she used to look like that when she was younger, but no longer.
Yeah, no, I'm sure she probably looked like that, because, I mean, I don't know, her old version looked quite different.
Do you think it was the same actress wearing prosthetics?
Well, here's the thing. I don't think that was a real old lady.
Yeah. There's something about the face that's weird, which is why I was like...
And the eyes looked like hers.
Yeah.
So I have a feeling it was her. But having said that, I have a confession to make. When I watched Titanic as a kid, I was convinced throughout the entire movie that the old lady was actually Kate Winslet in old lady makeup.
Oh, okay. Is that true?
No, it's totally not. The old lady's played by an old lady.
Yeah, that would have been really good old lady makeup.
But I was like, oh my gosh, that old lady makeup is really, really good. And, but I think it is prosthetics, because it was something different about her.
Yeah, or maybe it was like a body double but the face looked weird. It didn't look like a normal old lady face.
Yeah, and her tits were like down to here.
Yeah, which
Anyway,
I mean,
yeah.
maybe that happens.
Yeah. But she did look like an old version. Anyway, but that was the most, to me, that was probably the most exciting thing about this episode.
I think the Brienne thing trumps it a little bit for me.
Oh, yeah. But I mean, the Brienne thing, I didn't quite think it was going to happen now, but I could see it kind of coming. Plus, that when it did happen, it was like, oh, yeah, classic.
Yeah.
Like, classic
Maybe
knight in shining armor to the rescue right at the last moment. Whereas that Melisandre thing was kind of like, whoa, like...
Yeah. It is an interesting trope that I've seen before. Like, it really reminded me of, American Horror Story.
Oh yeah, they do that a lot. Yeah.
With the Moira character, who is also my favorite character in that.
Oh, in season 1.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Who was an old lady, but then she turned into a hot redheaded chick. Which is, like, weird that there's, like...
Well, she was actually a hot young chick.
Well, yeah.
Because she died as a hot young chick.
That's true.
But
why do you think she looked like an old lady then most of the time?
Because
her like death wound was...
Yeah, but no, because she said... There's one scene where she says something like... Oh, sorry, we're going on a tangent here, but there's one scene where she says that women see... men see what they want to see and women see into the soul of a woman or something like that. I don't know.
So then her soul is an old lady.
I guess, yeah. But yeah, so that was exciting. So on to the next episode.
Yeah. See you next time.
See you.